Hi everybody, this is week 4 of LGTC 5010, and I apologize for all the background noises you may hear, including the power tools. I have a nostalgia for those sorts of things in the summertime because it reminds me of summer. It reminds me of my rural roots and industrialness and all those good things. So I don't mind them, but hopefully the microphone here, the lavalier that I have, will pick up much more of my voice and a lot less of that. Anyway, this is a lemon tree, and all those great things that come from lemons, they come from one of these, like limoncello, right? And lemon sorbet. What else is really great? You can think of all those nice things. Well, this particular lemon tree was basically dying. We were really afraid it was going to die. And I'm going to actually tie this into SLA here. So bear with me. All the leaves were falling off last winter, and it really looked sad. And then last May, third week of May, I rolled it out onto the porch of my house. And right now, you wouldn't even know that it had any real problems. I guess you could still tell there are some empty branches and so forth. But basically the point here is that this is one species that likes to produce leaves and lemons. I also made reference in my introduction to the elephant and its trunk and the amazing things that an elephant can do with its trunk, including rolling logs and sniffing out fairly indistinguishable odors and being able to determine which is which from more than a mile away. I think dogs have something like 1,000 times more receptors than we do in our noses, and then imagine then what an elephant might have if it's the most sensitive nose of all the animal population. So what does that have to do with SLA? Well, one thing that we don't have is an elephant's trunk, and indeed that might actually be nice to have every now and then, to be able to swim under the water and snorkel at will. We also do not produce lemons, as far as I know, but what we do produce is language, and as far as I know, lemon trees don't do that, and elephants might have some rudimentary form of a language, but nothing like what Marcel Proust or William Shakespeare or Simone de Beauvoir or any other author has been able to do in the last part of our history where we have actual writing. So the thing about that language ability is that we have to explain how it got here. Chapter 3 about language acquisition. And also this refers to what the nature of language is as in chapter 2 in Bill Van Patten's, while we're on the topic. It's an amazing thing, and it's an amazing chapter. I want you to spend time on it. It's not a long chapter again, but it's got some complex features to it. And I think sometimes you need to reread these things to really let them sink in. One of the really amazing small parts of this chapter is his reference to double contractions. I'd have said it instead of I would have said it. I'd have said it. And actually, there are times when you cannot double contract. There are rules that English creates or establishes on its own, through its own genius, if you will, that says, well, you can do double contractions in this context, but you cannot do them in that context. And that is not anything that a body of prescriptive grammar said. And it's also not anything that anyone ever learned explicitly. I try to find me an ESL textbook that has that rule in it, I will buy it right away because it'll be a collector's item. So this is a really amazing chapter. It's sort of fundamental to everything that we're going to handle in second language acquisition. We're not ending the second language acquisition portion of our term this week, but this is right there in the middle of all the things that we should be concerned with, and why it is then, again, furthering the theme that we've already looked at, why it is problematic to think of an explicitly grammatical syllabus, and why we might much more pivot over to communication as the foundation of what we do in our classrooms. So I hope you have a great time with this chapter. Please let me know. I really appreciate everything that's going on in the forum right now, and I think we're heading into to a good part of the term. And finally, let nature rip.